Welcome to Capital Currents, where the flow of business news and market trends keeps you ahead of the tide. I'm your watchdog, and today is Friday, September 6th. In this episode, Topgolf-Callaway is splitting up. Then, Verizon announces a deal to acquire Frontier Communications. And finally, the Paramount deal saga has concluded. I mentioned the jobs report in yesterday's episode. It's a big deal because that report will tell us how many jobs were added in the US economy last month. Forecasters are calling for 161,000 jobs added in August, which could be up from the 114 jobs added in July. If that number comes in higher than 161, I think it'll be a sigh of relief for investors and markets could rally. But if that report shows weak job growth, then you probably don't want to check your portfolio on Friday and ruin your weekend. And a bit of breaking news, we got another set of jobs data. The ADP reported that private payrolls in August grew by 99,000, which is well below the 140,000 that was expected. ADP says that this is the smallest gain since January of 2021, so that's not great. The data also follows a new report that says that this was the worst August for layoffs in over 15 years. So yeah, a lot is riding on tomorrow's jobs report. Verizon announced a deal to acquire Frontier Communications in an all-cash transaction valued at $20 billion. Verizon said that the strategic acquisition of the largest pure-play fiber internet provider in the US will significantly expand its fiber footprint across the nation, accelerating the company's delivery of premium mobility and broadband services. That's a whole lot of jargon. Verizon will pay $38.50 a share in cash, which is 40% higher than Frontier's 90-day average share price. But Frontier's stock jumped around 40% after this news, which actually puts the shares in range of Verizon's buyout offer. But now, shares of Frontier are down another 10%. I guess investors aren't confident that the deal will actually go through. If the deal doesn't end up going through, Verizon has to pay Frontier $590 million as a breakup fee. Larry Ellison, the Oracle co-founder, is set to gain control of Paramount through a deal led by his son, David Ellison. This acquisition involves the purchase of Paramount for over $8 billion. This acquisition has had many twists and turns in the past 3 months, but it looks like, finally, Larry is going to control 77.5% of Paramount, while the rest will be owned by a private equity investor, Redbird Capital. David Ellison will become Paramount's chairman and CEO, overseeing operations. The deal includes acquiring Paramount shares and reducing its debt. Concerns have been raised about potential political influence by Larry's conservative ties. But despite this, the Ellisons plan to maintain the CBS TV network and Paramount's local stations, promising to preserve and enhance their legacy. An agreement has finally been reached. Now it's up to the regulators. I do have a feeling I'll have to come back with another update about this deal, depending on what the regulators have to say about this. That's all the business headlines I have for you. Let's take a look at some stocks making moves. Tesla is having a nice start to the month. The stock was the best performing stock in the S&P on Wednesday, and it's extending its gains in the pre-market today. Tesla announced that they plan to launch their full self-driving in China and Europe by the first quarter of 2025. Remember, Tesla also has their robo-taxi event coming up, which is scheduled for October 2nd, so we'll see if Tesla can live up to the hype there. But right now, investors are pretty optimistic. Tesla stock is up around 5%. That's all for today's show. Keep navigating those waters, and see you on Monday.